first started out, fortunately, to coach at NDSU in 1984, and traveled through different schools. Spent a couple of years at the University of Tulsa. I went to the University of Wisconsin. I spent 5 years at Rice, a year at Duke, and then I had a chance to go back to the University of Nebraska, which is my alma mater, and had an opportunity to coach for Coach Osborne, and we were fortunate to win some national championships. And then this is personally going into my 10th year at NDSU. Well, you know, it was a collective effort by our administration, support staff, strength and conditioning, and sports medicine, and then our coaches and our players. To return NDSU football back to national prominence was, a primary goal of ours. And so it was very gratifying on behalf of Bison football to receive the national championship trophy. Well, you only get these opportunities, every so often, and I gleaned a great deal of experience from Coach Osborne, and we modeled a lot of the things that we did, everything from our preparation to coming down to our game day. I thought it was important. We felt like it was important for our players to play with a great deal of poise and composure, to execute the game plan at hand, and not get caught up in the moment, the fact that it was a national championship game, but the fact that we needed to play really well to secure the national championship. So there really wasn't, a fire-up speech. There was more of a message of confidence, for preparation, and to rely on the skill set that our coaches had instilled in our players. So we tried not to be super emotional, but tried to really be focused on the moment at hand. First of all, it's great to see Marcus receive some individual recognition. Marcus has, played very well, and he's worked extremely hard. He's been an ultimate team player, and he's improved his skills as a defensive back and as specialist return and perform in a lot of things. So it's great to see one of our individuals receive national recognition like that. And without question, Marcus's impact on our national championship run was significant. I believe he scored 5 times this year, particularly for a defensive back, specialist, to be able to score that many times. You possess a pretty unique skill. And so Marcus had the ability to, change the dynamics of a game, whether leveraging his coverage skills or, making a big return off an interception or a big return off of a kickoff or a punt. Well, I think, 2 plays in the Minnesota game where he picked up a lateral at the end of the first half against Minnesota and really electrified our fan base, and then and scored a touchdown. And then later on in the game, picked off a pass and made a great run and a leaping, diving effort into the end zone, which pretty much sealed the victory. And, Marcus is from the state of Minnesota, and to be able to do that in his home state, I'm sure was personally gratifying. But Marcus is a team player, and he was excited to do that for NDSU. I don't know about special talents, but, I'm a pilot. I fly quite a bit, and that's been something that has been very rewarding for me personally. Well, I think first and foremost, Tom Osborne had a huge impact on me as a player and a graduate assistant, and then later on as a full-time coach. It was a real privilege and honor for me to have an opportunity to serve in those capacities for him while I was at the University of Nebraska. And then outside of that, I think, my father has had an impact on me as far as, hard work, solid character, treating other people right, being a stand-up person in your working profession. Well, taking it back and forth, the Missouri Valley Football Conference, I think, is a tremendous league with a lot of parity. It's a very physical league. It's a league that would be a throwback to the old Big Ten league as far as, you know, some smash mouth football, which somewhat is a dying breed in college football, and really good coaches and great commitment from schools that are in our league. And then along with that, you know, we're really excited about the promise of a new year. Every year is a new year. We know that there's big challenges ahead. And so our players are excited about embracing the competition that we have within the Missouri Valley. And then, you know, we're in hopes that we have an opportunity to get in the playoffs. And what we have found is you know, any team, once you're in the playoffs, you really have an opportunity to secure the national championship. And that's what's great about the playoff system. Me personally, I'm a big supporter of the playoff system. I think it's a great system the NCAA has, and you really find out who the best team is. And so our hopes is to go in there. We know it's going to be a competitive schedule, and to have a chance to get in the playoffs, and then whoever's hot at the end is going to be the best team. Well, we feel like we've got a great game day venue. I know one website is listed as the 48th best college football venue in the country, of all college football venues. I know the decibel rate during our playoff run was, was higher than the Metrodome when the Twins won the World Series. It was very similar to an airplane taking off. Opposing teams had a hard time hearing snap count, and so we really had a great home field advantage. Our region, our state has really embraced Bison football. It's hard to get a ticket. It's been a neat transition into a great college environment. Anytime that you experience great success, any coach in the country will tell you, you worry about complacency, feeling like, we did this last year, so that's going to translate into success this next year. And so for us to address that with our football team during the offseason is really imperative. And our whole coaching staff has done that. We've got a good group of senior leaders, but that's always a concern. And then along with that, no team is going to go as far as what they did the previous year without some outstanding performance, particularly by senior players. And replacing that game day experience by those seniors is the biggest challenge as well. But we're really a dynamic institution that's experiencing a great deal of growth, and I think that also can be highlighted by the state that we're in. We have the nation's lowest unemployment rate. The largest oil find in North America is in our state as well. We've got a great deal of energy within our faculty, staff, and our whole community and the region. So there's a lot of positive things going on within higher education at NDSU. As I said earlier, if you go around the country, there's very few institutions that are experiencing the amount of growth that we're growing and the energy level, and certainly the economic support that is in our region has helped, and there's a real can-do attitude at NDSU. And we're attracting students where before we were viewed as a regional institution. We're a national land-grant top 100 research institution, and so we're beginning to find students from both coasts, from the California and from the East Coast, that are choosing NDSU as a great option. Well, we developed a great tradition here at home at the Fargo Dome, where all the lights get turned out and the team comes out and everybody has a grand entrance. We realize that, but it's really turned into a special entrance, and that's probably the biggest tradition that we have pregame, postgame. We have several practices that we do in our locker room. That what has been neat is those are the same songs, the same traditions that have been carried on from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, into the 2000s. Same songs, same routines, and so it's really a great tradition that's been in place here. Well, after 18 years at the FBS level and having an opportunity to play and coach in the Orange Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl and a lot of different bowl games, I have been overwhelmingly not surprised, but just pleased with the talent level at the FCS level. I think it's great the exposure that these players are beginning to receive, and the level of play is truly an exciting brand of football. And once again, I think the playoff format that the FCS has is just a phenomenal format, and it really highlights the best team in the country. We certainly appreciate all the support. Stay tuned for the 2012 season. We think you're going to like what you see. Craig Bohl, head football coach in North Dakota State. I want to congratulate Marcus Williams for his outstanding performance and his recognition on this honor.